Well, good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the University Honors Transfer Workshop. My name is Aaron Bouchong, and I am the Administrative Director of University Honors. This presentation is intended to provide you with information, resources, and opportunities that will prepare you for success in University Honors. Among other information, we will also review with you the University Honors requirements for the upcoming academic year so that you know which courses to register for fall quarter and beyond. As you just heard, we are recording this presentation and will be providing it to the students who were unable to attend today's presentation. We will also be providing the recording to all of you so that you will have it for your review and reference. Because we are recording the presentation, keep in mind that anything you say or write in the chat will become a part of the recording. To ensure that everyone can hear the presentation clearly, please do mute your microphones during the presentation. And if you are able to and comfortable doing so, please also turn on your cameras and leave them on so that we can see your faces during the presentation. We ask that you please save any questions you may have until the end of the presentation, at which time we will answer all of the questions. However, if you need to ask a question during the presentation, please do use the raise hand feature in Zoom, and one of us will acknowledge you. Before we proceed any further, I would like to introduce you all to the other members of the University Honors team. I will call on each member of the team that is present today in the order that they appear on the slide so that they can introduce themselves to you. And we will begin with Dr. Echeverria.
Thank you, Aaron. I'm Begonia Echeverria. I'm the Faculty Director of University Honors.
Thank you. Next is Jovan.
Hey everyone, my name is Jovan Smith. I'm the Data and Enrollment Specialist for University Honors, and I've been helping you for most of your process through admissions with joining us. So thanks for being here.
Thank you, Jovan. Christine Parada appears next on the slide. She is the University Honors Office Coordinator, but was unable to be here today. She certainly does look forward to meeting and engaging with all of you in the fall. Latoya?
Hi, my name is Latoya Ambrose, and I'm the Senior University Honors Counselor, and I also counsel students with last names A through E.
Thank you. Jane?
Hi, I'm Jane Kim. I'm the Assistant Director. I oversee counseling operations. I'm also a counselor, and I have a caseload of students with the last names F through Lim.
Thank you. Maria?
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Rosa. I'm also an honors counselor, and I see students with last name LIN through R.
Thank you. And finally, the person responsible for putting together this workshop for you, Myra.
Hello, everyone. My name is Myra Jones. I'm one of the University Honors Counselors. I also handle marketing and media for the department. I see students with last names S through Z, and I look very much forward to meeting all of you and getting to know you as we get through this next academic year. I'd like to welcome you all and hope that you'll come and chat with me and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Thank you, Myra. Now, Dr. Echeverria will provide you with information about the purpose and mission of University Honors.
Hello, everyone. I also wanted us to say hello again to some of the faces that I recognize from some of the virtual meetings that Jovan and I have been having over the summer. So if you haven't done so already and are able to, please do turn on your cameras. I might see more of you that I've met before. So the main goal of University Honors is to promote scholarship, engagement, and student success among high-achieving students such as yourself, so that we can supplement, enhance, and maximize your experience at UCR in and outside of the classroom. So my role as faculty director is to oversee the programmatic aspects, the coursework, the capstone ultimately, but also the fun stuff like field trips. And for those of you who've been to some of the meetings with me already, we already have several planned for the fall. We are taking a trip to the Bowers Museum in Santa Ana to see the terracotta soldiers. We're taking a busload of students to go to the Museum of Tolerance in Los Angeles, which will also include witness testimony from a Holocaust survivor. And one of our faculty fellows is also taking a group, I believe, to the desert for a sound bath experience, which sounds kind of cool, but I might go to as well. And I mention that because that's not a feature of many honors programs, and it's one of the funner aspects of honors. And the way that you know about those is that you have to read your email because these opportunities are all on a first come, first serve basis. We have 3 pillars of excellence that all relate to our fundamental purpose. And these not only influence the programs and the resources that we provide, and the opportunities, but also represent the general learning outcomes of university honors. So we promote creativity and innovation, which refers to the academic component of university honors. So courses, again, the research you will be doing, or creative activity you will be doing, or experiential learning you will be doing under a faculty mentor guidance for the capstone project, which transitions you from being a student to being a scholar. We also cultivate a culture of contribution, which refers to the civic engagement component of university honors, which engages students in making contributions to the communities that are important to you, whether that's in your home, in your neighborhood, on campus, or the world more writ large. And we also have a class that some of your colleagues maybe that you meet that are a little bit below you might talk to you about, which refers to civic engagement. So there'll be some civic engagement opportunities for you as well outside the classroom. And we also celebrate diversity and global citizenship, which refers to high impact educational experiences such as studying overseas, doing an internship, and also other co-curricular activities, so involvement perhaps in student organizations or volunteer opportunities that you might be able to build on for your capstone, but also engage you in a very hands-on kind of way with communities that are important to you, which include the world at large. And just drawing attention to our mission as a university honors, which relate directly to our pillars of excellence. University Honors engages a diverse community of students, faculty, and staff in the creation of global citizens through high impact experiences that emphasize original scholarship, contribution, creativity, and innovation.
Okay, so here's a snapshot of our honors population and some key data. At the top, you can see our gender and college breakdowns. And at the bottom, you can see the ethnicity breakdowns, which are all representative of and mirror the percentages here at UCR. The average honors GPA is at 3.7, which is well above the national average of 3.15. And as you can see in the GPA data, a majority of our students have a 3.5 GPA or higher. Honors, of course, has a number of academic benefits. As transfer students, you get to participate in a learning community as you'll be taking all of your honors courses with your fellow honors students. We have data that shows involvement in learning communities provides from a 0.15 to a 0.3 cumulative GPA bump. So that's a nice little increase. The honors courses that you take with us will provide you with the resources and support you need around the capstone project, which I'll talk about below. You also get priority registration, which means that honor students can enroll in classes earlier than the rest of the student population. So your chances of getting the classes you need or would like to take are higher, which also helps you graduate on time. And finally, honor students are required to complete a capstone during the year they graduate, and this can be a research, creative, or experiential activity. So you can write a novel, report on a lab research, or even create a documentary, which is pretty cool. These projects help you to really take learning outside of the classroom and apply critical thought to the topics you're most passionate about. We provide course support and mentorship throughout this process, and you can use this experience to help you get into graduate school or provide invaluable experiences that can boost your resume for your career. Next slide. We have a number of honors benefits that kind of around community. So honor students can interact with faculty in a variety of ways. We have, of course, a full-time faculty director, along with anywhere from 6 to 8 faculty fellows and 2 faculty in residence, which live in the honors living learning communities. Our student community is very close-knit. We currently have just over 900 students in the honors program compared to the over 26,000 students here at UCR. Students can engage and get to know one another while taking classes and participating in the activities we offer. We have honors housing units in Pentland Hills. That's for our first-year students, and at Glenmore for second years and above. Honors also offers personalized counseling, so each student is required to attend a group advising session where they meet with their honors counselor and peers to get to know one another and get your questions answered. You'll also have the option to meet with us one-on-one as often as you'd like. Our caseloads are smaller than a typical academic advisor, which allows for multiple and longer meetings with us.
Okay, so another opportunity for you is in honors leadership opportunities. And one of those is the University Honors Ambassadors. This is a competitive leadership program that provides professional development experience for students. The Honors Ambassadors essentially as peer mentors, and they also do outreach responsibilities, and they will receive training on how to do so on the peer mentoring part and developing the community within University Honors. And then there's also additional training and professional development responsibilities throughout the entire year. The honors ambassadors do earn a scholarship for the work that they do each quarter. We also have a university honors media team. And so that's involved, the position involves doing video editing, social media, photography, and design, sorry. And this is a creative outlet and platform to participate in as they gain experience and leadership skills. And members of the media team are awarded a University Honors Scholarship for their work. And so additional benefit, like we mentioned before, and Dr. Echeverria alluded to this, is faculty-led programming. The Honors Faculty Fellows offers many engagement opportunities throughout the academic year. Many of these involve field trips. And so as you can see from the pictures here, they went to see the Hamilton at the Pantages. They went to the Huntington Library. They also went to the Norton Simon Museum with Dr. Hughes. They also were able to see an opera before anyone else did. They got to see the rehearsals for it, which is really cool. And so it is a really awesome opportunity. The field trips are really popular and they're first come, first serve. And so like Dr. Echeverria mentioned, please check your email because once the tickets are gone, they're gone. However, you do not have to pay for any of these experiences. And then some additional resources and benefits is one is the honors office itself. We do have a study lounge for you guys, so you could come in between classes and study during the hours that we're open. There's also opportunities for you to engage while you're waiting in between your classes and things like that. You can also visit your honors counselor in person if you desire to do that. And so our space is open for you to make that. But to meet with your counselor, you have to make an appointment to do that. And then also we have some co-curricular events on campus. And so as you see here, Ryan Holiday came and spoke with our chancellor. Honor students have first dibs on tickets to see that. So that was really cool and free. Robert Vargas, who is an artist, came to visit our students within one of our classes. So they had the opportunity to meet and connect with him. And then also pictured there is our Honors Palentine's Day where they came and stuffed a plushie. So it was really cool. And we have different social activities like movie nights, craft nights, things like that, where we provide that to you at no cost. But again, check your email to sign up for these events because space is limited.
And another major benefit for honors is that we have honors specific scholarships available to students. As you can see on the list, we have different projects or opportunities for different types of research, study abroad, civic engagement. And so these are definitely opportunities you would like to take advantage of. They range from, the awards range from anywhere from $500 up to a few $1,000s. And now the scholarships criteria and categories can change from year to year, but the most important way to find out about them is you can visit visit our website. And as you've heard several times already, is check your email. They are the number one way to find out about what scholarships we have. If you check our website now, you'll see what a number of them are that are available and the eligibility requirements. And they are on a cyclinable basis, and that they repeat. So many of the due dates will be the same next year. And then one of the most important slides is to know the required courses that you have coming up. As incoming students, you will begin this fall taking HMPG 149. That is the Introduction to the Capstone course. This is a 1-unit course, and it's credit, no credit, or a satisfactory or no credit course. And so that course is all about helping you find your faculty mentor. One of the biggest things about honors is that you can do research at UCR without being in honors, but honors help structure that research. And so this course and all of our courses really help set you up in that manner. In the winter, you're going to take HMPG 150, and that's a 3-unit course, and it is letter graded. And you work with our faculty fellows in those courses to help you really develop your research projects. And then in HMPG 198H, which you take in the spring, that is one of the courses you would begin working on your capstone project with the help of your faculty mentor. And so we totally hope you sign up for 149, HMPG 149 this fall, and that will help set you up for the rest of the academic year.
And please, you probably read at the bottom where it said that you had to secure your faculty mentor by the end of fall quarter. Don't freak out on me. We have capstone resources. So that's what we're going to go over. So a lot of this you're going to find at honors.ucr.edu, but we do have a tab where we offer for you to review even now, hint, hint, the e-scholarships. So the e-scholarships are previous capstones that were turned in by previous honor students that you're welcome to review. So you could see, maybe give you ideas, maybe you could look at to see who their faculty was. We also have there for you the honors capstone handbook. So if you're a little bit curious about, what does a capstone kind of, look like, or, you want to read a little bit more about it, you're more than welcome to go there as well. And then we also have a department here that we call Curel, and they have different types of programs that are undergraduate research portals. So we'll go over all of that with you to teach you of how you could find different ways to get your capstone going, or different ideas of how to do the capstone. And then don't worry, just, if you've gone out through every single resource, there's also going to be a faculty mentor database, which is going to be provided for you in HNPG 149 when you're in class. And that is a list of professors who have told us, hey, I would love to be a mentor for an honor student. And, definitely if they're interested in doing this topic, or if they're interested in studying abroad, or if they're interested in doing a creative capstone. So you will have also a database for you to resource in case you need it. Now, how do you stay in honors? Please make sure that you complete all requirements. Requirements can be found on our honors online orientation. You will be sent this information in the beginning of September, so hopefully by next week or so. Make sure you complete it. It's very important that you complete that online orientation. You could also go to our website again, honors.ucr.edu. Myra is going to be sending out your weekly counseling emails. It provides a lot of information. I truly recommend that you read through it and see all the opportunities and things that are happening within the week. And honor statuses. Well, let's go. What if I can't, or you, for whatever reason, can't meet a particular requirement? We ask you that you come inform us, your counselors, as soon as you kind of realize, like, oh, maybe I'm not going to meet that GPA. Or, oh, you know what? I'm having difficulties in this part of the requirements. Come meet with us. That's what we're here for, to kind of help you and guide you. There might be a way for us to help you either through petitions or through different ideas. But we can't help you if we don't know that you're struggling, right? So we want to make sure that if you're having any doubts, or you feel like one of the requirements won't be met, that you come meet with us. The honor statuses, just know that there's only two. You're either in good standing and you're here in honors, or you're discontinued and you're out of the program. So those are the only two statuses that we have. Each status is determined by the end of each quarter. And so though we do have Jovan who will be going through a lot of the things that you're required to do to see if you are meeting the requirements. Okay. And again, if for whatever reason you don't meet a certain requirement and you are discontinued, you do have an opportunity to appeal once in the lifetime of the program. What that means is that you could state what particular circumstances or why, and then it would be up to our faculty director to see if it's something that we could still maybe bring you in or if the discontinuation stays. But again, come to us first. We would love to give you ideas or get resources for you so that you're not failing on those requirements.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a little bit of a reminder of what's coming. Obviously, your registration is going to start next week, and at that time, please do add HMPG 149 for the fall quarter. But in addition to registration for fall quarter, we actually have a mandatory orientation that you're going to have to complete. So prior to the beginning of fall quarter, you are going to be receiving an email from us. So again, it's very important you read your emails, and that email is going to contain a link to that mandatory online honors orientation, which will be a set of modules that'll have details about when it must be completed in that email as well. The modules are going to give you some additional information about university honors, and they're going to go over all of our requirements. You're going to get notified sometime in September with more information and given a timetable for when you have to complete it. So please do pay attention for that email so that you can complete that requirement. So these are all of our social media channels. I highly encourage you to follow us. We have a very strong social media presence during the academic year. We actually just hired a marketing and media team of students like yourselves that are going to be running those channels, posting on our social media, taking photographs at the field trips and stuff like that, posting those so that you can see them. So please do follow us. We don't follow you back. We don't stalk your personal accounts. It's just another way for you to stay informed, be reminded of upcoming deadlines, see the photographs. When you guys get courted at the courting ceremony for completing your capstone, you're going to be able to see all the photos, etc. So if you haven't followed us yet, please do follow us. And it's just one more way to stay connected. And right now that the presentation has concluded, if you would like to ask a question, please use the raise a hand feature and we will call on you. Those of you who do not feel comfortable asking your question live, please feel free to type your question in the chat so that it may be addressed. Please limit your use of the chat feature in order to limit repetitive questions. And if for some reason we don't have time to answer your question in the time remaining, please email honors@ucr.edu and we can answer it there. Before we conclude, I wish you a successful and productive advising and registration session and look forward to seeing you in September enrolled in 149. So let's start with the questions. I'm going to stop sharing the presentation so I can see all of your faces. Right. Did that.
So we have a question in the chat. What day and time is a mandatory workshop?
The online orientation? It's a set of modules. Oh, go ahead, Latoya.
Oh, sorry. The online orientation, it opens week 0 of fall quarter, and you have 2 weeks to complete it. And so it's at your own pace. It usually takes most students about an hour and a half to complete the whole thing, but you could do it on your own pace as long as you do it by the deadline, which is usually about 2 weeks from when I open it.
Matthew, you have a question?
Yes, thank you. The quick question. So I'm all about my emails, staying on top of that. I'm just curious when the first field trip would when I should really be paying attention for that sign up.
So I send you a set of emails. One of them is the counseling email that's sent to you every week, and it's going to contain important information on, upcoming requirements, scholarships, deadlines, things like that. And then right after that email, you get something called the engagement email. And the engagement email includes all of the stuff that's coming up event-wise, faculty, fellow, field trip-wise. So you can see like, oh, this event just came up. Here's the registration link. Let me, sign up for that real quick. So if you sign up the first week it shows up, you're more than likely to get a seat. But if you're like procrastinating and not signing up quickly, that Hamilton trip, for example, I think it filled up in less than 2 hours. So definitely keep an eye out for those emails. Usually the counseling email goes out on Mondays and the engagement email goes out on Tuesdays. It doesn't always fall exactly on that date, depending on if information is coming to me or not. But usually it'll be Monday for the counseling email, Tuesday for the engagement email.
Myra, if
Can
I'm Myra, excuse me. If I'm not mistaken, the Hamilton buses, 2 busloads of students filled up in 20 minutes, 100 people. So just, and then people, I didn't know about it. Well, because they didn't check their email. So
So can I follow up real has that already happened for anything that's coming up in the fall?
No, we
That's
haven't
kind of
advertised any fall events yet.
okay, perfect. That's what thank you.
The earliest we would advertise any are during week 1.
Perfect.
Lena?
Hi, I had a question. So if we plan on completing our time at UCR in 3 years instead of 2, is it okay if our capstone project is completed before we graduate, or how does that work? Or if I want to like pause it for a quarter, I don't know.
You don't really pause. We do have students that graduate early, but it just depends on how early you're graduating and things like that. So anytime a student tells us like, I might be graduating early, we say make an appointment with your assigned honors counselor so that you can talk to them about specifically what's happening in your case, and we could give you what the options are and what's possible.
Okay.
So whoever your honors advisor is, make an appointment with them and chat with them.
You're going to graduate early, or you're going to delay? Like you're going to be here
Well, I'm a first year transfer from a CSU, so like kind of uncommon. And I just would rather stretch my time at UCR over 3 years than 2.
There's no harm in turning in a capstone early, I'll tell you that.
Okay, that's what I wanted to know, like because I like planned out everything. So if the capstone
So
has
you can definitely start with 149 this year, do 149, 150, and then 198, and then next year do your units of 199H and turn it in at the end of
Okay, perfect. And then I also did have another question for our priority registration. Does it apply to stuff that's not within our major, or is it only for our major required classes?
Yeah, basically the way priority registration works is that when registration opens up, honor students will be able to register in one of the first 3 days of registration. So it'll be the day 1, day 2, or day 3, and then the general population starts to register after that. So it's not just the first day, sometimes it's the second day, but you will be able to register before the rest of the general population.
And is it just for our major required classes, or is it for any class?
Registration in general?
Oh,
So
okay,
you'll be able to
perfect.
register for any of your courses.
Okay, thank you.
Of course, you didn't have any priority registration for this fall quarter, but it'll begin in the winter. Yeah. Saeed?
I had a few questions, but I won't ask them all at once. So in case anyone has any questions, they can step in as well. So first off, if we already have like potential mentors and capstone ideas in mind, could we start to reach out now, or should we just wait until HPG 149?
I always say start as early as possible. There's no harm in reaching out now. If you've already got a mentor secured by the time you start 149, that course is going to be a lot less stressful for you.
Right.
Yes, definitely start reaching out.
Um,
Can I ask one of the staff members to monitor the chat and let me know?
Oh, yeah, I've been doing that, Myra. Yeah.
Okay, great.
I just started doing it too.
Thank you.
and I'll do one more for now, and then I'll leave the rest for a little bit later. If I want to study abroad on my last quarter, but I get to kind of match it with what other people, what I think Lena was saying. If I want to, would I be able to submit my capstone before then, and also present my findings if accepted before the last spring quarter, if I'm like going out in like April?
Yeah, you can definitely turn in your capstone early. So if let's say you wanted to turn in your capstone in winter of your last year and you wanted to go abroad in spring, that's fine. That would work out. If that's what your question was.
And then if in terms of presenting it, if we are accepted, then that would be based on the actual conference.
There's a variety of ways that you could present. There's, of course, professional conferences, and obviously they have different dates. There's discipline-specific conferences. There's conferences hosted by UCR, like the Undergraduate Research Symposium. There's community settings. Some students present in front of lab or in front of class, or maybe they do a reading like at a library or something like that. So there's a variety of ways that you could fulfill the presentation requirement. So just depending on when you're turning in your capstone and what way you and your faculty mentor choose to do that presentation, you just need to submit proof of that through the course.
Thank you.
Any questions in the chat?
I have a question.
Sure. Go ahead, Eric.
Um, I'm sure there'll be a lot of wonderful faculty members on like that list that the presentation was talking about, but in the event that I'm not actually interested in the research, is it possible to like reach out to a professor who may not be on the list and try to be
Yes, the list is not going to be include every faculty on campus, obviously. And we do have like a period where we mark it like, hey, would you like to add your name on the list? But obviously some faculty might not have seen the email, they might not have had time to answer and things like that. So just because your professor is that you're interested in is not on the list doesn't mean you shouldn't reach out to them.
Okay. Is like the process to like get them on board like really lengthy or difficult?
No, not
Well,
necessarily, but you do, obviously do your research on the professor. What is it that interests you about their research? Why would you like to work with them? Prep for that meeting. Reach out and request a meeting so that you can meet and pitch it and, secure them as your faculty mentor.
got it, I
And
understand.
there will be help not only from the honors counselors through your mandatory group counseling, but the faculty fellows will also help you. The courses that you're taking, 149, 150, will help you as well. The faculty fellows could give you advice. There's a number of resources where you could learn more about strategies and kind of tips on how to approach faculty.
Got it. Thank you.
There's a question in the chat that I want to answer. So Alfred asks, how can I use the honors program to make myself more competitive for graduate school? So graduate school, you could use your capstone for many things, right? Some of the graduate applications ask you for a writing sample of what you were capable of doing as an undergraduate student. So your capstone, you're going to be working on that capstone for about equivalent of 2 years, right? 6 quarters. That capstone is going to be more redefined than any other paper that you turn in within a quarter, right? So obviously that's going to be a lot better. You're going to have a faculty mentor who's going to be reading it and approving it, right? So it's going to be up to par compared to others. Second, guess something that they actually ask for most applications. Can we have a referral from an actual faculty for the graduate program, right? You're going to have a faculty mentor that you're going to be working with during this time. So most of our students do tend to have a great relationship with them and tend to ask that faculty for a referral. So that's a couple of things. Obviously, another thing is most of the graduate programs will deal with research, so they will be aware that you are fairly familiar with how research works, how to do it, how to investigate and get all of that done. So it helps you in different ways. Plus the fact that you were involved, your title for your capstone is actually marked on your transcript permanently. So no matter where you go, it's always going to be there. So just a few of the things. I hope that answers your question.
You had another question?
Yeah, as I mentioned, I thought that would spread them out a little bit. What resources do you provide for pre-medical students interested in building like clinical relationships or even working in clinical research?
We also have something where we call the outside opportunity emails, where if opportunities come up for like special research programs or jobs or lab positions or programs that help you get into medical school, workshops, things like that come up, we advertise them to our students as outside opportunities. So you'll be able to hear about that through us as they come in, but also through our counseling appointments. If a student tells us that they're interested in perhaps a medical field or something like that, there's this program on campus called PPAC, I believe, professional. They just changed their name, so but they're the experts on, the various health professions. They provide a wealth of information on their website about the various health professions with additional links and resources. They have a number of workshops you can attend. The Career Center has career fairs and medical school fairs and stuff like that. We have a medical school here on campus that has workshops every once in a while. So we'll keep you informed of all that stuff and put it on your radar so that you're able to take advantage of that. So we'll do what we can with what's available.
I also want to point out that one of our faculty fellows, Daniel Novak, is a faculty member in the School of Medicine, Daniel Novak. And he's also been last year he won one of our Mentors of the Year awards. He's a very good faculty mentor as well. So you will have him as a resource. I know there's been a couple questions about how will the honors program help me in graduate school or internships and employment, things like that. So just as my perspective as a faculty member and having read many, 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 many applications for professional school and having read many CVs and resumes for jobs, all things being pretty equal in terms of, say, GPA, I am more likely to admit a student or hire somebody who maybe has a slightly lower GPA, who's done something like a capstone than someone who has not. Because there can be a difference between being a good student and being a good scholar. And often people do a really great job on a creative activity or a lab experiment or in some kind of an internship, for example. In some way, and sometimes those skills translate to better grades in all the classes, sometimes, but not always. But what does a capstone show? It shows you have to do something that's independent. You have to show independence. You have to address a gap in knowledge or a question of interest to you that hasn't been explored before. You're applying your own experience in an internship and overseas experience to illuminate a larger issue. You're creating something new. So, for example, as some of you know who've been to the meetings we've been having with transfer students, you can do a capstone project that's directly related to your major. So if you're a biochemistry major, you can do something in biochemistry. That's fine. But you can do anything that's of interest to you, even if it's outside of your field. And some of those have been the most exciting. But what you need to do is find a faculty mentor who can mentor you. So if I'm reading an application to graduate school of somebody who's in a particular field and their capstone is in something completely unrelated, that's great. That's actually a point in their favor. So when if you feel concerned, oh, I don't know what I'm doing. I can't figure this out. It's hard. 99.9% of the time, whatever issue you're having, someone has had that before, some version of it, and just talk to one of us or talk to your peers. And so going to the engagement activities is a good way just to talk to your peers who may either have been in the class you're struggling with or a similar idea as you or an experience with a faculty member that's similar to yours. So don't give up before talking to me or to your counselor or to your peer. But just keep in mind that pretty much for anything outside after college, it's really helpful to show that you've done something like a capstone because not only, again, does it show independence and innovation, creativity, but also, if someone's put this in the chat, just persistence, right? I mean, you're kind of sticking to it, right? You're figuring it out, problem solving, and all of those skills, writing, right? You have to you present your capstone either in an oral presentation or a poster. That takes creativity, that takes organization, that takes communication skills. All of those skills will translate in some way to your post-college life. And another good thing about the capstone is it gives you something very related to what Maria said, very specific for your faculty mentor to talk about in your letter of recommendation. So again, having read hundreds of letters of recommendation and written my fair share, specificity is what matters. So you can have two students who both got an A in my class, for example. If one of them A's, I don't remember who they are because they didn't come to office hours, which is another thing you should do, or they didn't speak up in class, or their work was, didn't speak to me in some way, and the other A met with me and did a great job on capstone. I have more to say about that A student than the other A student who didn't do the capstone. So for all, and also I want to say, and then I'll stop talking, it's just an opportunity for you to do something that's just fun for you and interesting to you. And if you don't do it now, you might do it later, but then you have to take an extra class and pay more money to do it. So while you have the opportunity to explore it, I would encourage you to do so.
So there was a question in the chat about when you're going to be meeting with your academic advisors to receive advising and do registration, and that's supposed to take place next week. Every college does it slightly different. So you should be contacted by your college with instructions on how to meet with them. It's going to be virtually. So they should provide you the link and let you know what day, what time, the duration. You'll likely meet with your academic advisors. They'll chat or present to you at the beginning about the information that's important to your registration, and then after that, they'll allow you to register. But all that information comes from your college, and like I said, it's slightly different for each college, so we will leave it to them to give you all of the details. But do keep an eye out for your email. Because those instructions will be coming, and they usually send them really close to the actual registration date.
Myra,
Philip?
Philip, and Matthew have their hands raised.
Philip?
Hi, so I got two questions. The first one is about like, does research pause over the summer?
Not necessarily.
Okay, so we can
And
keep meeting with
there's
the
also
mentors.
like summer specific research programs that take place as well. So
Yeah, well, I'm curious if that we could tailor just because my major is geology and I have to go on summer field. Um, but I also, don't want to be if I decide to take a summer class, I don't want to be like doing nothing aside from that while I'm over there. It'd feel like a waste of time.
you could definitely continue your research over the summer if like research is happening over the summer. Um, they'll likely spread out that research over a period of time, and you'll collect data over a period of time. So it could definitely include the summer.
Cool. And the second one is how would like organizing my own field trips be more of a specific thing to go over with a mentor? Like, is that something I can do?
Organizing your field trips for university honors, you mean?
Just
Or for
organizing
something?
my own field trips for a project,
Like with other honor students or just by yourself?
just by myself.
There's a number of student organizations, and they're all registered through Highlander Link, and a lot of these organizations create like community-based type events and stuff like that you might be able to do it through. If you want to do it on your own, I'm not really sure what
Okay.
you would go
Philip,
through.
you may be referring to field work.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your
sorry,
major.
apologies.
You can certainly arrange your own field work. When we
Awesome.
talk about field trips, it's the things like museums.
Yeah, field work.
Performances.
My bad.
Sorry about that.
However, with regard to field trips, there is someone here who I won't call out, but who attended one of the Zoom sessions we had earlier, who recommended the Agua Caliente Cultural Center as a field trip, and I've reached out to them. So in terms of field trips, if you have ideas, let me know, and I'll see what I can arrange. And you wouldn't believe the lead time that we need, so it's never too soon to mention possibilities to me.
Cool. Thank you.
Matthew?
Yes, thank you. So I was hoping to get some clarity because I'm getting some different um varied answers about the blocks with our school, our college, and with the honors, having to do both, one or the other, and so I'm hoping to get some clarity on that.
I'm not sure that I understand the question, Aaron.
What's your major?
So for instance, the CHAS first block, and then honors program participation, there's something that we're supposed to do that we have to participate in as for instance for CHAS. And then there's one for honors too. And I was told that maybe in previous quarters, like you had to do them both, but now I'm sorry, I'm not clear on it exactly because I don't really understand it, but it's something that we'll be participating in with cohorts, and being in honors creates another one.
Matthew,
And if we have to do them,
I can help you to clarify. As a Chaz student, you are in a Chaz learning community that is entirely administered by Chaz. They will tell you what courses to take. You'll take those courses with other Chaz students. That is separate from University Honors. University Honors, in essence, is a 4-year learning community for students who come in as first-year students, and is also a 2-year learning community for students who come in as transfer students. But it is not a learning community in the same sense that you're in a learning community in Chaz. In Chaz, you sign up for that learning community, you're in a particular cluster, you're taking specific courses with the same students over a period of time, just by virtue of being in University Honors with all these other students on the screen from other colleges, other majors, but having similar experiences and similar honors courses. That's why it qualifies as a learning community. But the two are separate, and they don't conflict with one another.
Thank you.
With the exception of HMPG 150, all the courses you're taking for University Honors are asynchronous. They're not scheduled at a specific day or time, so they shouldn't form any sort of conflict.
Thank you for that clarification as well. That's very helpful.
Does anybody else have any questions? Are there any questions in the chat that haven't been addressed?
I think we got them all.
I'm checking. Someone asked, what is CHAS?
College of
Remember not to
Humanities,
use
Arts, and
acronyms,
Social
so-
Sciences.
I want to thank Said because he's answering so many of them for us too.
You have to be careful not to use acronyms around new students.
But related to that, so the School of Business, there are 3 schools. So there's the larger units, but there's a School of Business, which is separate, School of Medicine, which is separate, and the School of Education, which is separate. So if that
There's
helps.
also the School of Public Policy.
Thank you. I forgot that one. I should know that one. Shame on me. It took me a while to figure out the acronyms as well. So I'm impressed that people even know to ask that, much less know what they mean.
And there will be a lot of acronyms throughout your stay here at UCR. They use them for everything. So definitely make sure you understand when you see one so that you don't get mixed up. Is there any other questions?
You're just wondering, is there like a group chat of a source for like the honor students or not really?
Can you repeat? I didn't quite hear that.
Is there some sort of like group chat? 'Cause I know that, for example, at my previous community college, we organized, for example, a Discord server where we have all the honor students, and it helped with just like connecting, getting to know each other outside of like having to run into each other on campus.
Yeah, there's not an official one that's set up by us. A long time ago, a few years back, we did form a Discord channel, but it hasn't been active in quite some time. That doesn't. Yeah.
I'm noticing a question from Brianna. Would there be a possibility for multiple honors alumni or students to work together on a capstone project? If you mean students, yes, it's possible for students to work together on a project, but they need to clear it with me first. So just keep that in mind. It is very common for, especially in the students in the sciences, to work, collaborate with graduate students and on a project. So for example, there's many people in a lab. So there'll be the faculty mentor, there'll be the principal investigator, graduate students, and a couple undergraduate students. And the point of the project is for you to have carve out a part of that larger project that's for you. And that's one of the things that the faculty mentor helps you to figure out is this is the part of the project that's for your capstone. So a capstone size bite out of a larger research meal, because I am getting hungry now. So.
And guys, I just really want to clarify. The Discord that you guys are sharing is not run by honors.
Right,
And
we
as
do
much
not
as
have a Discord
admission,
server.
as much as admission would love to help you, they're not staff or faculty from honors. And I just don't want them to provide you with incorrect information when it comes to the academic side of it. So if you do have questions, that's why you have your counselors. We're here for you. You need to speak with me or any other counselors for 30 minutes, we're here. That's the reason why we want to make sure that you're aware of who we are, our faces, so that you could reach out to us. We prefer that you hear the information directly from us than for you to tell me, but my admissions counselor, or I got this information from Discord. Because you got it from an invalid source, we wouldn't be able to, unfortunately, honor any of that. Okay, so just be careful. You guys are definitely welcome to help each other, but I wouldn't take that as solid information.
So somebody on the chat had a question about how the honors courses you're required to take are graded. 149 will be satisfactory or no credit that you're taking this upcoming fall. The remainder of the courses you have to take for honors, HMPG 150, HMPG 198, and the various units of HMPG 199H, those are all letter grade.
But I am the instructor of record, if that's what you're asking. So I will be grading you. So for the 150 class, they'll be taught by the faculty fellows. We have 8 of them. So I would pretty much follow their lead in the grades, but ultimately I'm the one that will submit them. But for all the asynchronous classes, I do the grading for those. And not,
Doctor, and if I might follow up with
I'm
another
sorry.
question, if I might follow up with another question in reference to the grades, is there like a rubric or somehow that we can see how we're going to be graded, or what's in consideration to actually attain the highest grade that we can potentially
Yes.
get?
Yes. So for it's for every assignment, it's clear what you're being graded on. There are rubrics. This is more true for the in-person class in winter, that there'll be guidelines, a rubric for the grades, but each assignment will tell you kind of what the grade is based on. Often for the asynchronous class, let me just tell you, you have to do it on time because they're very short assignments. So I'm going to be really brutal this year. I read them, not a robot. I actually read everything. So it's really important for me to, if something's all the assignments are going to be, with few exceptions, will be due on Thursdays by 4 p.m. And then Monday morning brain on Friday, I read them. And so you really need to get them in on time. And I would actually encourage you to try, there's no harm in getting things done early. So rather than waiting till, 3:59, because sometimes, we all know that things will get little glitches in every system. So there's no harm in trying to get stuff done early. That way, if there is a problem with submission, then usually Jovan has time to fix it. But yes, well, they'll be clear what things are graded on.
Thank you.
There are multiple sections of HMPG 150 every winter, so you should be able to find one that doesn't conflict with your courses.
Which is why you have priority registration, so you can make that work.
Any other questions?
I do see, see Jane, for the faculty members, if you mean faculty mentor, do they have to be teaching or involved in the subject you're doing your research in? Let's see. Yes, so Jane, looks like Jane has already answered that, but I would say that the faculty mentor does not have to be in your major, but they should have some expertise so they can supervise you on your capstone. But it's fairly common, for example, or it's possible, if you are in a major, let's say again, you're in biochemistry and you want to write a novel, because why not? So you might want to find your primary mentor has some experience in creative writing, and maybe you're writing short stories about related to biochemistry. Maybe you have somebody in that field who is a secondary mentor, so they can kind of check the content, the content of the novel or short stories that you're writing. So you can do that. You're not required to have a secondary mentor, but you can do one if you feel like you need 2 different people. Like sometimes it's one person can be the subject matter expert and the other person can be the capstone type expert. Like, so it could be that you want to do something that's creative on an academic field, and you might need 2 people to help you do that.
Other questions? Staff, is there anything left on the chat that wasn't addressed?
I think there's one in the chat that I think they're working on.
So I see the questions about this course server, and I really admire that, but the socialization will turn into questions that really staff should be answering. And so we don't want to create a space where we're saying, hey, we sign off on everything someone is saying. It has to be monitored by a staff or faculty member. So just to avoid all that together, we don't have it anymore. However, like we mentioned time and time again, you guys are welcome to email us with your questions directly. If you have any particular questions about your capstone or anything involving honors or anything like that. So we had one before, we deactivated because it was difficult to monitor. And so we just don't have it anymore.
Other questions?
I just want to make one announcements. Some of you already know, but I am having Zoom office hours even in the summer, except for 2 weeks from now when I'll be on vacation. First time in 6 years, yay! Thursdays from 3 to 4. So, and you don't have to email me ahead of time. But if that's available to you, you do need to email me to get my Zoom link. So it's from 3 to 4 on Thursdays for the rest of the summer. And moving forward for all your syllabi, I will be including my Zoom link. I would keep that, like download it, so that if you want to talk to me some other time, the Zoom link is always the same. And that saves me having to send you the Zoom link each time. So again, Thursdays from 3 to 4, except for 2 weeks from now. If you're available, you can just show up, but email me if you know you want to come and you don't already have. Some of you have already come to see me, so that was fantastic. So if you want to see me before the fall begins and you need my Zoom link, email me at honorsdirector@ucr.edu, not any other email, honorsdirector@ucr.edu. And just mention in the subject line, I was in the transfer meeting, and then I can give you my Zoom link, and then you can show up anytime from 3 to 4 on Thursdays.
So there's a question in the chat about when you graduate from UCR, will there be an honors program stole or course for finishing the honors program successfully? And the answer is yes, you will get courts and actually a pin as well. We have something called the honors courting ceremony that we invite all of our graduates to. And this is the opportunity for your faculty mentor to come up on stage with you and cord you with the cords that you can then wear at the UCR graduation. When you walk and get your degree. So, yeah. Other questions? So we've reached the end. It's just about 5. If you think of other questions, we are all available to you over the summer. You can email your honors counselor or honors@ucr.edu, and we can address the question there. This presentation was recorded, and I am going to upload it to our YouTube channel. Once I finish doing all of that, I will email you and send you the link so that you can review it and rewatch it if you so wish. Right. It was a pleasure meeting all of you, and we look forward to seeing you and meeting you and getting to know you once the academic year begins. Thank you, everyone. Bye.